Hey all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to look back at 2021 and talk about everything that I bought at Sephora throughout the year. So really, my Sephora purchases in 2021 is what kicked off this low buy year, because for the first time ever, I hit Rouge status on Sephora's VIB scale, which means that I spent over $1,000 in one calendar year at Sephora. And while that's awesome for other people, and I am so happy for them, for me, it was sort of a bit of a check, like, did I really need to spend that much money at Sephora? And maybe I did. You know what I mean? Maybe these purchases are all fantastic, or maybe I'm going to tell you about all the stuff I returned, that I sold, that I gave away, because there were a bunch of items that I purchased less than a year ago at this point that are no longer in my collection. So that tells you something. So really, these are just going to kind of be mini reviews of each thing. I'm not going to go too into depth on them, but I'm just going to tell you whether or not I actually am happy to still have them in my collection, whether or not I got rid of them, whether or not I would purchase them again, if I would recommend them. It's just going to kind of be a little rapid fire pew, 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 you know. Don't know what that pew, pew, pew means, but here we are. Also, my hair has kind of like weird mullety vibes today, and I'm not mad about it. Oh, and as always, if you would like to know anything that is on my face, everything's going to be in the description box down below. But we are going to start with the very first item that I purchased on literally January 1st, 2021. And that is the Marc Jacobs Beauty Omega Glaze All Over Foil Luminizer in Very Merry Cherry. I'm going to pop a picture up here because this is something I no longer have in my collection. I'm not gonna lie, I think I bought it because I got all excited that something from Marc Jacobs was on sale. When I bought it, it was 50% off, and it was literally like this big, and the highlighter filled almost the whole pan. And to be honest, it was really, really beautiful, but it was very like bronzy gold, which would be great for an eyeshadow, but on my skin tone as a highlighter, it was just too much. And I genuinely think I just purchased it because of the packaging and the price, which is kind of a wake-up call to me in my low buy year. Like, why would I just spend money on packaging and price rather than the product? Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure we've all done that before. Tell me down below, what item have you bought solely for the packaging? Because we've all done it. I will continue to do it, I'm sure, at some point in the future. But this is an item I did wind up reselling on my Mercari page, so it's no longer in my collection. Then we must have been on some sort of kick with highlighters, because only 2 weeks later I bought another one, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Iced Out Highlighter. Again, picture going right here because it's no longer in my collection. This product went completely viral when it was being teased because it looked so similar to the Amrezy highlighter, which was amazing, which I still have in my collection, which I still love. And I tried so hard to love this highlighter, I really did, because I do like ABH's formula for highlighters, but it was like this yellow-white highlighter. It was so freaking strange, and like I had it for months before eventually decluttering it, and I really thought it was the tits, but just not on me. It looks really good as like an inner corner highlight, but I don't need a pan that big and that expensive for an inner corner highlight. So that wound up being resold on my Mercari page as well. I didn't want to keep it in the collection. So my next purchase wasn't until the end of February. I guess I had a little buyer's remorse because it took me a whole 5 weeks to buy some makeup, but I do still have this in my collection. This is the Tower 28 Beauty Beach Please Cream Blush in the shade Magic Hour. Did I just dig my finger in? Nope, we're good. Now I just dug my finger in. So this really is a nice cream blush. I do like this one. It's a nice shade. The formula is pretty emollient. It doesn't have a shimmer to it, but it does have sort of a glow because of how dewy and emollient it is, but it does set down enough where it's not going to slide all over your face. I do like this. I'm going to keep this in my collection, but it is not my absolute favorite cream blush formula. I know a lot of people look at these as sort of the end-all be-all. They really, really love this formula, and that's awesome. Again, it's going to stay in my collection. I do like it. I am putting it on my list for things to make sure I use this year, because I do have a list of every single makeup item in my collection, and stuff that doesn't get used by the end of June might be getting the chop. But this really is a pretty one. I feel like it's very neutral. It's very peachy. It's pretty. Am I going to buy 50 of this this type of product? This Tower 28 Beach Please? Probably not. Then we went into April, which was the very first VIB sale of the year, and I went a little ham, but the very first item I bought, I'm gonna put a picture right here, was the Tower 28 Bronzino in Suncoast. This was a light bronze. I absolutely hated this. I really hated this, and I know so many people that like it, but it was nothing on my skin tone, and I have a fairly light complexion, and this looked like nothing on me. It felt like I was putting Vaseline or petroleum jelly or whatever on my face with no color at all. And I don't get it because I saw so many other people use this color and it looked great on them. On me, it looked like absolute crap. And I realized that I think when it comes to cream bronzers, I need something a little less emollient than this was. And I never say that. But like, for example, I love the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand and everything like that for bronzer. But I don't love that this formula was just so slippy slidey that it went all over the place. It was not my jam. That went. This was also the sale of lips. And I remember why this was the sale of lips for me. It was because it was spring of 2021 and things were just starting to look up after the pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, but things were just starting to look up where like you could hang out with people. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear lipstick again because probably by the end of the year, no one's going to be wearing masks anymore. Anyway, so I wound up buying 2 lip liners that were kind of on the more high end. One is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Iconic Nude, and the other one is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Lip Crayon, and this is the color Noah. Love, 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 love both of these so much. The quality is amazing, and I have tried so many more inexpensive lip liners. I've tried NYX, I've tried e.l.f., I've tried Wet n Wild, I've tried Milani, and they're fine, but none of them compare to these. I wish I could tell you differently, but none of them compare. These go on so creamy and they last so long. Like your lipstick is going to be untouchable. And even if your lipstick does come off, this stays underneath, both of them. I can't recommend them enough. So let me do some swatches for you. This is the Natasha Denona Noah color. So it is a brown pinky nude. And then we have the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, which is, guess what, a brown pinky nude. I know they look super similar here, but I will say that the Charlotte Tilbury definitely has more pink to it, and this is definitely more of a cool tone nude. I love both of them equally. I really, really do. These are my favorite lip pencils that are in my collection at this point. And yes, they were more expensive, and yes, I will be buying more. I also, for the first time, purchased 2 Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I had never tried these before. So this one in Super Cindy is from the Hot Lips collection. I'll show you a swatch right here. Very rosy pink, almost leaning on peach just a little bit. And then we had the shade JK Magic in some of my favorite packaging ever. Again, this is a nude, and God, they look so, so similar. I know they do, I know, but the quality is so brilliant that I don't regret it for a second. This definitely has some more lighter peachy undertones, whereas this is more of a true rose. Both of them are stunning. I'm happy to have both in my collection. I will be buying more. Again, these are on the more high-end side, so they are more expensive. So these are things that added to my spending over $1,000 at Sephora within a year. And again, some of these purchases I didn't quite regret. I'm not going to say I regretted them, but at the same time, I was happy to return them. These are staying in my collection. These are worth every penny. We also had something that you're going to see as a theme over the year, and you're probably going to see it as a theme for the next 50 to 100 years with me. I bought the Sol de Janeiro Sol Cheriosa 62. This is the actual perfume. It comes in a little spray. They do make a bigger bottle of this, but I just bought the little travel size, sample size, whatever you want to call it. Love this. I love the smell of the Sol Cheriosa smell that they have, which is the same scent as their Boom Boom cream. So I now have a body scrub. I have a lotion. I have a spray that's just a general body spray. I have this, which guess what? We're doing this right now. I love this, and honestly, do you see how little I've used? That needs to change. That needs to change because I love it so much. It's such a fantastic scent. I genuinely think that like everybody would like this, but I know there are some people, some weirdos out there who don't like the smell of Boom Boom cream, and they're not people I want to know. They're not people I care to know or carry in my life. Oh God. Next, we had another lip color, and I'll be honest, this is one that I almost kind of forgot about. And when I was making this list to see what I bought this year, I was like, holy crap, I haven't used that in a while, and I used it today, and I'm obsessed. So this is the Patrick Ta Monochrome Moment Silky Lip Creme in She's Independent. These are so lovely. So they are a liquid formula, but they are not a liquid lipstick that dries down completely. Like this will, yeah, this definitely comes off on my hand. It's in between a lipstick and a gloss, and I love it. It is so, so, so creamy and hydrating and moisturizing. They feel beautiful on the lips. I never hear anyone talk about these, and I've only purchased one, and I don't know why. I really would like more of these in different shades of nude, because the thing is, when it comes to like a bold lip, that's something I like to be matte, something that dries down, something that's not going to move and look crisp and beautiful. When it comes to a more neutral lip, that's where I like the glossy, the plump, everything like that. This is really, really fantastic. So if you're looking for a super hydrating lip, this is awesome. I just really like it. Next, we had a little bit of a weird situation, if you will. So I bought this Super Goop SPF from Head to Toe kit. It was $28 and contained 3, I guess you'd say deluxe size samples, but they were even a little bit bigger than that. They were maybe about this big, and these were all just 3 different Super Goop products. One of them was the sunscreen, the other one was the Unseen sunscreen, which is more of a primer formula. It almost feels like the Smashbox primer. And then you had a spray defense refresh, which had SPF in it as well. So there was a little bit of like weird controversy last year where a couple of cruelty-free blogs started coming out and saying, Super Goop is no longer cruelty-free. They're not cruelty-free, so everybody stop using them. And I have to admit, like, I didn't do enough research myself. And I just read these and I was like, well, crap, I guess I need to stop using Super Goop. And I even talked about it on the channel where I was like, guys, Super Goop is no longer cruelty-free, so I'm going to have to buy something else. Looking into it a little bit further, there has been approximately like 1 blog that said that. And I don't know why I kind of followed that blindly, because Super Goop is Leaping Bunny certified as cruelty-free, and I love them. And I'm probably going to go back to using them. We're going to explain why, because there's a sunscreen product in this list that, oh my God, real bad. But anyway, this set was really cute. I wish it was still available because I thought it was a good way to try out the products, but we'll talk more about Super Goop in a bit. And then we had one of the purchases that really kicked me a little bit more into the stratosphere, and I don't regret it for a second, but I will say right now it has been discontinued in the United States. If I can find it elsewhere, it's going to be linked down below along with everything I'm talking about, but chances are I probably can't. That is the Kilian Boys perfume. This is my favorite fragrance discovery of 2021. I love this so much, and I'm so sad that you can't buy it here, but I will tell you something. I purchased a backup of this. I bought a backup because I was so scared of it just going away. So I don't regret that for a second. This smell is so insanely sexy. The top note is cola, like Coca-Cola. It's so good. It is so sexy. It has like a driftwood scent to it. It has a little bit of coconut, a little bit of lime. It's so deliciously yummy and just like, oh my God, you just want to ravage yourself while you're wearing this. It's amazing. And this was $75, and I bought the backup for $135. I bought the bigger one because I love it that much. They're so good. They're so good. Next, we are into May, and I purchased 2 crayons, really, if you will. So I know that I went in there wanting to look at Marc Jacobs because Marc Jacobs was really stopping their beauty line. And I had heard good things about this. This is just their regular pencil. It's the Highliner Gel Eye Crayon, and the color is blacker, and it is amazing. I was going to swatch it on my hand. It's going to look like a black eyeliner, but this in your waterline does not budge. It goes on creamy, it goes on smooth, and it is beautiful, and I'm so bummed that it's gone now. It's out of business. So I went in there for this, and I wound up also getting my very first Huda Beauty product. This is the Lip Contour 2.0 in Automatic Matte in Universal Red is the color, excuse me. So what's weird is that I bought this thinking that Huda Beauty was completely cruelty-free, and it turns out that they're on the gray area list for so many people because they're being weird about answering questions. So this is the first and only Huda product I own, and I'll say I hate this. I kind of hate it. I don't know why it's still in my collection. The pencil is scratchy. It doesn't go on well. It's not creamy. It doesn't last. So literally nothing about this is good. Am I going to hold on to this until June when I do my declutter? Yes, I am, because I just want to be able to declutter everything at once so I get proud of myself and see how much I've gotten rid of. All right, September. We are at mid-September, and I totally remember why I purchased this item. I had gone for a facial, and it was my first facial in a couple years. And the esthetician, I didn't get good vibes from her instantly, but she spent the entire facial telling me how rough and aged my skin was. Now, I am all for estheticians giving you recommendations for products. I am all for that. But if you spend the entire hour just insulting me and telling me how old I look, I'm not cool with that, sis, okay? So, but anyway, she had me leave there being convinced that she was like, you need retinol ASAP. You need to start retinol hardcore, blah, 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 blah. So I went immediately to Sephora and bought my very first retinol. So this is by the Inky List, and it's just called retinol. And it was very inexpensive. I want to say, yeah, this was $10. And I bought it just as a way to try retinols to see how my skin would react to them. And I'll admit, I used a good amount of this. I saw and felt zero difference until I started using a good retinol. And then I started seeing a difference. So this, for me, didn't do anything, I'll admit. I mean, I'm probably going to wind up decluttering this. It didn't really do anything for me. I didn't feel a difference. I didn't see a difference. I didn't notice a difference. So this is something that I would not recommend personally. The retinol I do use is the Protini retinol by Drunk Elephant, and the chef's kiss. It's amazing. You do notice a difference. With this, I love the price point, not the product. And then we have another one that shot me into the stratosphere. This was the thing that got me really close to hitting that $1,000 mark, and that was the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. Again, this is unfortunately no longer available. If you want it, I would suggest looking on places like Mercari or eBay or whatever, because this palette, I don't understand why they discontinued it. It is so incredibly beautiful. These shades are just so beautifully pigmented. I love them all. I want to lick it. Seriously, one swipe and look. It's just, they are so incredibly metallic and wet looking. These shades are Natasha Denona quality, so they're obviously a great quality, but this palette is just really beautiful. It was $129, and I'll admit, I bought this when they announced that this was going to be discontinued. I was like, you know what? It's something that's been on my list forever. Gotta have it. And I went to the store and almost threw up when I bought it because it's $129. And I am not somebody who makes impulse purchases like that usually. I've done it a handful of times in my life, and each time it makes me a little panicked. Does anyone else get like that with impulse buys? Like when you spend a lot of money and you're just like, oh God, no, I'm okay. I deserve this. I work hard. Oh God. But anyway, this is one that I absolutely do not regret. And then we had our fall VIB sale in mid-November. So let's go over those items. The very first item, and I'm so sad to talk about this in a way, this is the Urban Decay Moon Dust Shadow in Space Cowboy. This is something that had been on my list for so long. It is just a very, very metallic, shimmery, wet looking shadow. It's probably even really hard to see. You can still see the Natasha Denona on there, but it's just really beautiful and very sheer and stunning. It's a top coat. It's a great brow bone highlight. I really, really, really love this. Why it makes me sad is because it's been discontinued. And I didn't know that when I bought this. I bought this and talked about it in my haul like it was the second coming, because to me it was, and then found out it's being discontinued. So if you can find this anywhere again, it's really, really stunning. I did pay full price for this at $22, and I don't regret it for a second. I also bought, finally, the Kosas Airbrow. The shade that I bought is medium brown. It's what I'm wearing today. I really love this product, and I think that this has replaced my Glossier Boy Brow. It does have a fantastic formula where it helps to fluff your brows into place. It doesn't hold them as much in place as one of the other items that I'm going to be talking about today, but it really holds them in place just a little bit. It really gives them some nice shape. It gives them a nice tint. Really love this. This is the only color I'm going to purchase, though. It's not like this is something where I'm going to purchase 10 colors. I enjoy this. So if you're looking for a good, just regular run through your brows, go out the door, I would suggest this. So remember how I said we were going to be talking a little bit more about Sol de Janeiro and the Boom Boom Cream scent and all that?
Well, something else I purchased was this. I'm going to put a picture of it right here, not because I don't have it anymore, but it's the Galaxy Gorgeous set by Sol de Janeiro. And the reason I'm putting a picture of it is because I did wind up recycling the box. I went through this purge where I wanted to get rid of all these cardboard boxes that I was hanging on to just because they looked pretty. Why? So in here you did get the body wash, you got the body scrub, you got the Boom Boom Cream and the spray, all with that same scent that I love, that is intoxicating to me. I love them all. I'm going to use them all. I'm so happy to have it. The set was, I think, $62 with a $93 value. That is very much worth it to me. I love this set. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so remember how I talked about how Super Goop, I thought they weren't cruelty-free, so I felt like I needed to find another sunblock? I picked up the Pharmacy Green Defense Daily Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 30 because I really do enjoy Pharmacy products. I only used this last week for the first time. Only last week for the first time because I wanted to use up the Super Goop that I had first, right? I hate this. Like, I hate this so much that I used it once and I will never use it again. It pilled up on my skin, and I did the same thing that I always do where I let my skincare soak in. I put this on afterwards. I wait before putting on makeup. It instantly pilled up. It didn't sink into my skin. There was a hella white cast. It smelled a little bit. It's just everything about this I do not like. I wish that I had tried it before the return period was up because I can't even return this at this point. So I'm going to maybe give it to a friend and see if they can get some use out of it. But I like the word hate comes to mind with this. So also during that sale, I bought something that wound up being one of my favorite items of the year, of all time, if you will. So that's the Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination Wax. Love. This is something that really holds your brows in place. So you need to be careful with this because it can get weird or it can get stringy if you use too much of it. But with this, the applicator is actually a little comb. I'm not sure how much you can see. It's a direct comb where you comb your brows into place, and then I will even take the back of the wand and press them into place, and they stay there all day. So this is, again, for that laminated look, for that fluffy brow look, for when you want to see individual hairs or really bulk up your brows. Amazing. And it's always out of stock, and it makes me mad. I hope they don't get rid of this ever because this is like one of my holy grail brow products. Okay, this one kind of cracks me up. A lot of things that I purchase are your fault, okay? They're all your fault because you will comment in my comments in each video and you'll be like, Linda, you need to try this. And I'm like, okay. This one is kind of the opposite of that. So I mentioned that this was something I was interested in buying during the sale, and so many of you said, don't buy it. Don't buy it. It's a lot of money. It's not worth it. Don't buy it. And then I got to the store and I was like, I'm going to buy it. And I did, okay? So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Mini Film Star Bronze and Glow. So you do have a very light bronzer and a highlighter. I love this. I love this so freaking much. The quality is so good. They are both so creamy, even though they're powders, that they don't skip over your skin. They blend out beautifully. They look like a freaking dream. Like a lot of them on the contour, the imprint is like almost gone because of how much I use this. Love, 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 love this. This is such a quality item. And look at that packaging. Like, it's so beautiful, even with my dirty ass fingerprints. The final item I got in that sale was the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum Tinted Sunscreen. Love this. Love, love, love this. So this is somewhere in between, I guess you'd say, a moisturizer and a tinted moisturizer. It is a very light tint, but I love the way this evens out my skin tone. I love the way it gives it a bit of a glow. I love the amount of coverage. I love everything about this. This is such a fantastic product. And it's one of those things where it's almost like I'm nervous to use it because I don't want to run out, but I'm trying to force myself to use it more. This retails for $30. I absolutely love this. If you like something that is a lighter coverage, I really highly recommend. And then we had the final purchase of the year. And I'm not going to lie, I bought this because I think that I was something like $18 away from hitting Rouge. And I was like, well, if I'm that close, I got to just do it. So the first thing I bought, and I haven't bought something like this in years, this is the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquified Matte Lipstick. It's long wearing, and this is the shade Cinnamon Bun. So again, guess what? We have a rosy brown nude. Groundbreaking. And I bought this because I was influenced. There is an Instagrammer, I believe her name is Pineapple Jess. I'll put a picture of her right here, but she wears this all the time and it looks so good on her and so yummy and so just, delectable that I had to buy it. I really do like it. I do find it pulls a little cool toned on me, which is interesting because I feel like on her, with her skin tone, it pulls very warm, but I do like it. And the second item I bought, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a little bit embarrassed about this. So I decided that because I really liked my Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, that I would get one in a different color, okay? So I tried all the nudes on my hand and I was like, you know what? I don't have this one, so I'm gonna get this one. So I bought the same exact freaking lip liner I already had, and I only have one other one. So again, we have the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Iconic Nude, which I already have. Now, to be fair, I do love this, and I will use it all the way through, and I will use this one as a backup, but that again was a sort of nail in the coffin, right? I was like, you know what? I don't know enough about what I already have in my collection, so much that I just spent another $24 on a lip liner I already had. I needed several wake-up calls, I guess, and this was maybe the final straw. So that's it. Those are all of the items I bought at Sephora in 2021. I'm very curious to see what this video is going to look like for all the items I bought at Sephora in 2022, because the list is going to be much, much smaller, I'm sure, like with the number of items, but it might be just as expensive when I'm thinking about it, because my goal is quality over quantity. We are going to see what this year brings, my friends. We are going to see. So that's it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel. You all can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Those are all GlitterFallout. And as always and forever, you are super freaking rock stars. And I love you so much with my whole heart. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.